Good afternoon, advanced algebra students. I hope you are doing great. We are going to do our notes for 3.4a right now on dividing polynomials. So far, we've learned how to add, subtract, and multiply polynomials. So today's lesson is going to be on dividing them. We're going to learn two different methods, long division and synthetic division. In order to better understand how to do long division, I'd like to do an example with you using just regular real numbers like you might have done in junior high. So we're going to take a look at taking 1,569, that is our dividend, dividing it by 13, which we call our divisor. So we ask ourselves, how many times 13 goes into 15? The answer is 1 time. 1 times 13 is 13, so we write that down, subtract and get a 2, and bring down our 6. Then we ask ourselves, how many times does 13 go into 26? The answer is 2 times. 2 times 13 is 26. There's 26 minus 26 is 0. I bring down the 9. 13 does not go into 9, so I put a 0 there, and my remainder is 9. Now we can use a very similar process with polynomials. So let's do a second example here. Example number 2. We are going to take x cubed, so x cubed plus 5x squared plus 6x plus 9, and divide it by x plus 3. So we're going to ask ourselves very similar questions here, but of course we're dealing with polynomials. So I want to say x times what would be x cubed, and the answer is x squared. I like to line these up. It's not absolutely essential to do so. If I take x squared times x plus 3, and I'll do the work over here, I'm going to get x cubed plus 3x squared. So I'm going to write down x cubed plus 3x squared. Now, one little difference here is that when we're subtracting, instead of just subtracting, I like to think of it as adding the opposite. They are equivalent, but it's a little bit easier. So I change the sign of everything in my second row here, and then I add. X cubed plus negative x cubed is 0. 5x squared minus 3x squared is 2x squared. And then I bring down the 6x, just similarly to what I did before. All right, now I want to ask myself, what would I have to multiply x by to make 2x squared? So I would have to multiply x by 2x. Now I want to see, what is 2x times x plus 3? That is 2x squared plus 6x. When I change the sign here and add, I get 0. I bring down the 9. X plus 3 does not go into 9. So I say that I have a remainder of 9. And typically we can write this as 9 over x plus 3. So there's a couple of different ways that we can look at this. We can say that x cubed plus 5x squared plus 6x plus 9 divided by x plus 3 equals x squared plus 2x plus 9 over x plus 3. That is one way of looking at it. Another way of looking at this is saying that x cubed plus 5x squared plus 6x plus 9 is equal to x plus 3 times x squared plus 2x with 9 left over. So we kind of get two pieces of information from doing this. We are dividing these two polynomials and figuring out what our quotient is, but we're also kind of doing the beginning stages of what might be considered factoring. Okay, let's go ahead and do another example. Let's go ahead and do, for example number 3, something that requires us to leave a placeholder. So I'm going to do here 8x cubed plus 27 divided by 2x plus 3. Now notice that I've left a little bit of space here. The reason is because I need placeholders for any terms that are missing. So I want to have here 0x squared and then 0x. All right, we're going to go through the same process that we did a minute ago. I want to ask myself what I would have to multiply 2x by to get 8x cubed, and the answer is 4x squared. If I take 4x squared times 2x plus 3 and distribute, I'm going to get 8x cubed plus 12x squared. Again, the simplest way to handle this is to change the signs and add. When I do that, these two cancel out and I have negative 12x squared, and I bring down my 0x. Now I want to ask myself what I would have to multiply 2x by to get negative 12x squared. And the answer is negative 6x. If I take negative 6x times 2x plus 3, I'm going to get negative 12x squared minus 18x. Then I change the sign and add. This becomes 18x, and I bring down the 27. Okay, we're almost done here. We want to ask ourselves what we would have to multiply 2x by to get 18x, and the answer is 9. So I'm going to take 9 times 2x plus 3 to get 18x plus 27. Notice when I do that and change signs and add, there is no remainder this time. When there is no remainder, I have essentially learned how to factor. I've learned that 8x cubed plus 27 divided by 2x plus 3 is equal to 4x squared minus 6x plus 9. But I can also think of it as 8x cubed plus 27 is equal to 2x plus 3 times 4x squared minus 6x plus 9. Both of those facts are true, and both of those facts I can see from the work that I've done. Now, I'm wondering if some of you notice what this is here, because this is building on a previous lesson that we had. This is actually our sum of cubes formula, where our A is 2x and the B is 3. And this is A plus B, and this is A squared minus AB plus B squared. So maybe some of you noticed that. Now, the good news is that this is the harder way to divide. We do have another method called synthetic division that requires, in many students' opinion, less work than the long division does. So we're going to do a few examples of synthetic division. With synthetic division, the one thing that we do have to keep in mind is that it only works when our divisor is in the form x minus or plus another number. So in other words, the divisor has to be a linear expression with a leading coefficient of 1. Let me show you what I mean by that. For example, number 4, if I want to divide 2x cubed minus 7x squared minus 4 by x minus 3, I'll show you what we do. This is what I was talking about here. This method only works if my coefficient of x is 1. Now, what I need to do to make this work is I bring down my coefficients here. And actually, let's notice here that we need a 0 as a placeholder, because this represents 2x cubed minus 7x squared plus 0x minus 4. Then I want to take the opposite sign of what I see here. So if I see a negative 3 there, I'm going to put a positive 3 here. Now I bring down my 2. I take 3 times 2 and get 6. When I add these together, I get negative 1. 3 times negative 1 is negative 3. I'm going to add these here. This is negative 9. And my result here is negative 13. So what have I learned? I've learned that 2x cubed minus 7x squared minus 4 divided by x minus 3 equals, does anyone have a suggestion what this number represents? What these numbers represent? If I took an x cubed divided by an x, what would my first term be? This 2 represents 2x squared. The negative 1 is negative x, and that minus 3 is my constant. And then my remainder is going to be negative 13 over x minus 3. Okay, let's go ahead and do another example, example number 5. And in this case, I want to divide x cubed plus 27 by x plus 3. Now, just like that we did with the other example, I do need placeholders. So I have 1x cubed, 0x squared, 0x, and 27. Because this is positive 3, I'm going to put a negative 3 here. I bring down my 1. This becomes negative 3. I add 0 and negative 3 there. Negative 3 times negative 3 is positive 9. 9 plus 0 is 9. 9 times negative 3 is negative 27, and my remainder here is 0. So what did I learn here? I learned that x cubed plus 27 divided by x plus 3 equals 1x squared minus 3x plus 9. Or I can think of it as x cubed plus 27 equals x plus 3 times x squared minus 3x plus 9. So I think you can see where we're heading with this. Learning how to do division helps us also to learn how to factor. Okay, I have one more example, example number 6. This is a real world application. The area of a rectangle is 3x squared plus 3x cubed plus 11x squared plus 4x minus 12 inches squared. The length of the rectangle is x plus 2. What is the width? So what we need to keep in mind here is that in a rectangle, area is equal to length times width. So if I take area divided by length, area divided by length is going to equal the width. So let's go ahead and take our area. We have 3x squared plus 11x, 3x cubed plus 11x squared plus 4x minus 12 divided by x plus 2. So I'm going to put a minus 2 there. And you know what? Let me go ahead and put the problem above it. So I have 3x cubed plus 11x squared plus 4x minus 12 divided by x plus 2. All right, I bring down the 3. 3 times negative 2 is negative 6, plus 11 is 5, negative 10, negative 6, positive 12. Notice there is a 0 there. When we have a 0, we can factor. So here's what I know. 3x cubed plus 11x squared plus 4x minus 12 divided by x plus 2 equals 3x squared plus 5x minus 6, or 3x cubed plus 11x squared plus 4x minus 12 equals x plus 2 times 3x squared plus 5x minus 6. Now we knew that this is our area We also know that x plus 2 is the length. So it must be that this right here is our width. The 3x squared plus 5x minus 6. All right, so there are two methods that we can use to divide polynomials. One of them is long division and the other is synthetic division. And that's it for 3.4a. Thanks so much, guys. Bye.